Welcome, everyone. We are live. And oh my God, it's Friday. Yes, it is. I am ready. Listen, somebody posted last night that how do we know that the law is real? Now, I don't know what people are looking for as evidence, to be honest with you. I don't know. You see, there's so much information. Aliens, no aliens, good ones, bad ones. Okay. Black people are the first on the planet. No, they're not. And you're like, okay. The Bible is real. No, it's not. Like, there's so much information. We don't even know which one is all the way true, not all the way true. We don't know. We just speculate. But you know what you don't have to speculate about? When you garden. You don't have to speculate about that. Do you know why? Because it is, oh, pardon me, the most basic expression of the principles. It is so quote unquote, I don't even like using the word basic, but it is so straightforward that it is taken for granted and we call it, oh, please, law? That's not law, that's just nature. We take the law for granted from our gardens so frequently that we sit and we say to ourselves, but how do we know the law is real? I'm like, what? Even if you did not know that they were governing laws of the universe, even if you didn't know that, you want to know what you do know? You reap what you have sown. Now, this is the part that cracks me up the most. They talk about reaping what you've sown because, people say, oh, you're evil or you're doing something bad. That's how they look at reaping and sowing and call it karma, right? When in actuality, it is the bigger picture is reaping what you have sown in the garden. That is the first hands-on evidence. You don't have to wait for science to corroborate your evidence. I like how that word is corroborate. You notice how it has correspondence in the first part, to correspond with something or correspond to something means what is on the inside matches what is on the outside. Because in that note, the person was like, how do we believe it and not just call it a coincidence? And I thought to myself, that's because we have a certain definition of coincidence. You see, it's not pomp and flash, what the principles are. It's not that at all. It's that they are so, and they're not even, the principles are not even subtle. They're not even subtle. They are so in your face. What? Think about that. Even if we did not have names for things, roses, or, pardon me, any kind of thing, if we did not have names for things, we would still observe that the seed, even though it didn't have a name, the particular seed that you planted would only bring forth what that thing is. as within, so without. So, what I want you to watch for is the coincidence. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, I was just gonna call you. Oh my God, I was just thinking about this. Oh my God, like, did you like totally read my mind? This is what I'm talking about. Coincidence. Coincide awareness. The thing that you have inside is what you will see. I told you guys, a good girlfriend of mine messaged me, quote unquote, out of the blue. But I had been thinking about her for the past 3 weeks. And every time I said, oh, I got a messenger. Oh, I got a messenger. Oh, I got a messenger. And I just got caught up with doing what I was doing that I did not message her. I didn't message her. She messaged me. Why did she message me? Because I was thinking about her. Obviously, because why is it that what I was thinking of, and it wasn't, you see, the moment I say that to you, we get this thing inside of us that says we got to try hard. No, I did not have to try hard to think about her. She just crossed my mind. And I said, I really should message her. But if you know me, I was like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Unless, of course, it is a particular feeling that accompanies that. Hmm? If there's a feeling that says, do it now, then I will. Right? And FYI, the dream I had yesterday, where JC pointed at me and called me something, I do not remember what he called me. So, and I'm telling you, it's important. That name is important, and I don't know why. But I digress. Why did I dream about him? Because this is what we do when we take things in throughout the day. We take things in throughout the day. And when we are at rest, just the images that we took part in emerge from us. Right? That's just what they do. So, when you are watching for coincidence, you're not forcing something to happen. Don't do that. Just go about your day and live naturally. And I've had the feeling to call my father all week. Whew. But your girl's been working through her lunch. Hello. I go and I prep my lunch in the kitchen and I come back and I gotta take the phone in there with me because when it rings, I answer it and I come back to my desk with my lunch and I assist who I need to assist. Whoo, don't do that. You gotta take your break. But I get up and I walk a lot because that's what I have to do. When I hear my name, Angela, when I hear my name, I'm like, yes. And I get up and I go. But I'm always walking to and fro in the office, right? Because I have to. It's just that kind of thing. And I go up and down the stairs a lot. Sure do. So I'm moving all the time. So when you're doing those things, you see how when you're at work, you're just there with the work and you're so engrossed in it? You live life the same way. You're so engrossed in life that we don't see what we're doing anymore. But all you're doing when you watch is just watching. Be a voyeur. And you know I love to be a voyeur. I just love watching people and things. I just love watching. Don't ask, because I don't know. I can't answer why. I just do. I know I do. I haven't started to dig around to find out why. Do I need to know why? I just know I like it sometimes to watch things because it's how I learn, right? So I watch. Answered my own question. So watch for it. Just go about the day naturally. Like, I got to do some grocery shopping today. I know that. I'm not freaking out. I just got to put my list together. That's it. It's just naturally existing, right? So when I say to you, watch for coincidences, just pay attention so that when you see it, you know what it is. You can go, oh, snap, that's a coincidence. Just watch. You don't have to force anything. Just watch. Because you know what you've got in the back of your mind, don't you? Of course you do. So just watch. You see, because what we tend to do is we keep looking for something magical. When you can use sound waves to lift things. It's not magic. It's sound. You know how they put it on the speaker, the sand on the speaker, and then they play the sound and the sand takes shape? It's not magic. It's just that sound has the power to elevate things. It has the power to lift. Look at it. You play your favorite song and you lift your mood. It's not just a psychological lifting. It's a lifting in general. But because we are looking for the fantastical, the weird, the out of the ordinary, because we keep looking for that, we miss the simplicity of the principles. And when you begin to see the simplicity, now don't get it twisted. Because it is simple doesn't mean that it is, whatever. No, there's a complexity to that simplicity. Oh, yes. Oh, it's beautiful. So when you start watching, just watch. What am I watching for? You're watching for when you say, oh my God, what a coincidence. You're watching for that. That's all you're watching for. How many times do you say, oh my God, oh, what a coincidence? It's like when I tell people to watch for how many times in the day that they sigh. You know, you're talking to them and they don't even know that they're sighing. But when I hear it, I say, that's a big sigh, isn't it? Hmm. Just observe. Just watch for how many times you say, whether audibly or inaudibly, whether you hear it or you speak it because you heard it. What a coincidence. Watch for it. When you see it, that is the principle of correspondence. What was in your mind as invisible that nobody knew, you made it known when you said, I was just thinking. What were you doing? I was just thinking about you. Or when we say to somebody when they come in a room, they go, "Are your ears burning? Because I just called your name." That's a coincidence too. You just called their name and they materialized. Are you a magician? No, you're just observing. You're just watching. There's nothing fancy about it. When you see that, that is your cue, okay? That is your cue to remind yourself, wait a minute, I gotta be deliberate. Like when people come in for shopping, there are little stickers on the shelf, and there's a points reward system. We all know about this, don't we? Scene points. There's rewards. But do you know, people come in and they just give you the card, right? And then a lot of people ask me, why am I not accumulating points? I said, because you're not deliberate in the way you shop. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I said, come, I teach you, huh? I take them over to the aisle and I show them the label. They're like, oh my God, I see that label all the time. I said, yes, you see it, but now you see it. I said, you have to be deliberate. You don't just meander down the aisle and just kind of sort of glance at things. You observe. Now, here's the power of observation, right? When you start to observe things, you are practicing the art of observation. You're practicing the art of seeing, not looking, seeing. That's what you're doing. You are practicing the art of seeing. So when you're observing yourself, you are getting really good at not just seeing yourself, but seeing why you do the things you do, why you do it that way, what your mood is. You start to see it. But when you practice observation or watching, you're not just seeing you. You are developing the skill of watching so that you begin to see things. You see it out in nature. You see it in people. You just see things. It's like we want to become good readers, but we don't read. It doesn't matter what you read as long as you practice your reading. That is what will make you better at reading. Because you know for a fact. This is why I'm saying to you, there are many things that we hear. And sometimes we don't know if they're true or not. We can't be certain that it is true. This is why if you say, yeah, but the God in the Bible is an alien. If you say that, stone them. That's what you're going to hear. Because people want the supporting evidence. Or else it's just hearsay. So if you start with the self by observing yourself, what you're speaking to yourself. I'll tell you a story about a man last night at the store. When you start watching the self, you are developing the skill of watching. And you will get really good at watching because you will see things. But now to become a little bit more deliberate, you want to watch for specific things. Now people ask, but Angela, if I'm watching for it, won't I automatically see it? Won't that be a confirmation bias? You will observe in the exterior what you are looking at on the interior. It must always confirm. It must always confirm. But that's why you will stop looking, because you've seen. If you don't see what you're looking for, you keep looking until you get confirmation. That's what makes you stop. The satisfaction of seeing on the outside what you're looking at on the inside. Confirmation bias makes us doubt ourselves because it is just this phrase. But you have to comprehend what you're doing. And then people say, well, how can you trust your eyes then? You're not trusting your eyes. What if you could not see? What if you could not see? What would you trust then? Your knowing is that's what makes you see. What you know is what you will see. Okay? So when you start just watching for the coincidence, you are showing yourself that what you are thinking of on the inside is what you're seeing on the outside. So when you begin to solidify that fact, take it up a notch, elevate it as above, so below, right? Elevate it. Now look at your mood. Your mood. If you watch your mood, just watch it. Don't judge it. Just watch it. Watch the mood, and you will see that the external experience will match the mood. If you say, ooh, I feel like sweet cream ice cream, if that feeling is strong enough, and somebody brings you a French vanilla ice cream, you might eat it and go, that was nice. Or you might say, oh, I don't want that. I'm just not in the mood for that. I'm in the mood for sweet cream. And what do? Some call it subconsciously, right? Again, you have conscious and subconscious. Words. Words. Conscious is what? Exterior. Subconscious is who now? Interior. So that which is interior, you must see on the exterior. This is why subconscious rules. Because we live from the inside out. Why do we live from the inside out? Well, go get a seed. Where's the plant? Inside the seed. Is it not? If you... So what I'm showing you here is, I may say something to you one day and you may be like, well, I don't really believe that. That's why I tell you, don't believe me. Look. Watch. Watch the seed. You know that you will plant this seed, and all you do is watch it. Right? You planted it, and now you're watching to see how it presents itself. It can only present itself according to what you planted. So if your seed is, oh my God, look at her. She thinks she's so perfect. Oh, I want her to fall flat on her face. Look at her. Man. She thinks she's so much better than everybody else. Or, Man, I can't afford that. Look at the way the world is. Ain't no jobs out there. I may as well turn to a life of crime. What? Listen to what you're saying to yourself. Feel the mood that drives you when you speak or when you act. Because if you entertain that seed long enough, it won't grow wings, but it will sprout roots, baby, and it will take off. Oh, yes, it will. So here's a story about the man who came through the till last night. He's trying this new beer. And he said to me, because I said, I said, you always choose the most interesting beers. He said, well, I'm just trying something new. He goes, I exercise and I work out, but I can't get rid of this gut because the beer, I love my beer. I said, perhaps you should just enjoy the beer and don't judge it. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, allegedly, this scientist, he fed two sets of animals, two bunnies, two groups of bunnies, and he fed them high cholesterol diets, both sets. One set, he would talk to them and hand feed them and, and rub them and snuggle with them and tell them how lovely they are. And the other group, just throw their food in front of them, yeah? He put his beer on the counter. He just listened to the story. And I said, funny thing is, both of them were fed high cholesterol diets, but only one of them suffered high cholesterol. He goes, you mean the ones he threw the food at? I said, mm-hmm. He goes, it's that self-talk then. I said, yes. Now, whether he was patronizing me is irrelevant to me. All I said to him is, watch the way you talk to yourself. Just watch the way you talk to yourself and you'll see why you keep doing everything by the book, but can't shake that beer belly. Because the first thing you said to me is, ugh, I hate it. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And he goes, well, I appreciate that. He goes, I'll pay attention. I said, watch that self-talk, baby. And he said to me, thank you, Angel. Because that's my name at work now, right? I said, you're welcome, sir. And he leaves. Another man joked. He goes, I came in for the beer and I got the free therapy. I just was like, I said, well, I said, and there's no couch in here either. It's just standing therapy on the move, baby. Short, sweet, and to the point. He goes, and I'll be back for more. I said, beer or therapy? He goes, both. And I'm like, I'll see you when you get here. Listen, that's the point. If you begin to observe, watch yourself, you're not watching to judge, you're watching to watch. What are you learning when you watch? See, Lord, I don't, if there are children in the room, well, don't shuffle them out. Tell them all in due time I will answer your question. Okay? Listen, we all want phenomenal lovers, right? Or we want to be phenomenal lovers. How does one become a good lover? By loving. Wait, what? By loving. Love is an action, is it not? Compassion, empathy, observing someone to see how they respond. You do that on a daily basis. You are learning how to be a great lover. Why? Because you're watching to see what people like. You think being a good lover has to do with sex. No, it has to do with, are you practicing love? Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Do you have empathy? Do you listen? Those are the action words for love. Because now when you encounter that special somebody, right, you will listen because you've practiced listening so that you truly can hear. So when they come and they say, I just feel so dot, 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 you just genuinely care because you have compassion and you listen instead of, well, No, you just learn the art of listening. Listening has to do with love because if you care, you listen, right? When you hold someone's hand, you don't just hold it because, well, we've been holding hands for years. No, you hold it because you like the way it feels in yours. We think kissing is just this thing. It is an expression of how you feel about someone. It's an expression. It is an expression. The way you hug someone is an expression. You see, all these things we take for granted because they just seem so, whatever. But in actuality, they are the very foundation that the universe is built upon. Or should I say, they're the very foundation through which the universe is expressed. Right? This is what we do on a daily basis. Right? It's just what we do. So if you take your time and you pay attention, just watch. Watch everything about yourself. The way you walk, the way you speak. If you watch and you see, sometimes you can spot a limp in someone. Sometimes it's a very subtle limp, a step and a slight drag of the other foot. You just gotta watch. You'll see many things. But don't get caught up in watching other people. Get caught up in watching yourself. And you'll begin, remember, you're practicing the art of observation. Because it puts you in touch with your body. You begin to feel. You begin to feel the sensations in your own body. The way your heart beats. You begin to sense if you're holding your breath or not. You begin to notice if your shoulders are all the way up by your ears and then you drop them, don't you? You pay attention to if you're sucking your gut in. You pay attention to if you're clenching your butt cheeks. You understand? You begin to observe yourself. So that when you begin to, sometimes tension is we're so used to feeling tension in our bodies that we don't feel it anymore. If the body is tense, then so is the mind. Your thoughts are making you tense. The mood that you have is tense. So much so, here's something for you. You ever seen someone with those two lines in their forehead? How did they get there? Well, people were scritching up their foreheads, weren't they? Because they were deep in thought about something. They were worried about something, and because now that's what they do, the forehead responds in kind. So much so that the lines are permanently there. That is their predominant mood of worry. But you see, we don't recognize it for what it is. So now some people can read the face. In TCM, you learn how to read the face by looking. It's the art of observation, right? Same thing for frown lines. Why are you sad? What's got you? That you're frowning and you don't even know that you're frowning. Like squinting. You don't even know that you're doing it. But if you begin to observe yourself, you will see the corresponding mood. And you will see what your habitual mood is. It will show up in your body. It has to show up in your body because you're in it. You're in your body. And you're constantly going from the invisible to the visible. So instead of arguing about who the first man was, instead of arguing about Adam and Eve and the deceptions of the snake, all of those things are just speculation at the moment. We don't know. We don't know. But what do you know? You begin to observe yourself. And the more that you do that, you will start to just get really good at observing. But you have to observe yourself because you're the first teacher. Oh my. You are your first teacher. Well, I didn't teach you how to walk. You got up and taught yourself, did you not? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. Yet we think we don't know how to do anything, as if somebody made you walk. You got up and walked when you felt ready. And you practiced as unsteady and shaky as it was. You still practice. You got up, you fell down. You got up, you fell down. But ow, that one time that you got up and you were steady, you said, oh, I'm steady. Let me put one foot in front of the next. Yes. So you see, my beautiful friends, you're constantly teaching yourself, and you seem to think you need a teacher. You don't need one. It's just that you don't trust the one you got. Oh, hmm, hmm. It's just that you don't trust the one you have. I wonder who that teacher is. The one in the mirror. You look in the mirror, that's the teacher you're looking at. Well, you can see your body, sure. But the teacher's using your body to teach you something. So if the teacher is using your body, are you and the teacher not one? But you don't have to take my word for it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't take my word for it. Don't believe me. Observe and you'll see it for yourself. Oh, oh, oh my. Oh, Lord, child, not at the wall, honey. Not at the wall. I know your ears are protected, but come now, my darling. Come, feller, feller. Yeah. See? All of that. Yeah, all of that room. So, my beautiful friends, it is Friday. You don't even give me a break there, do you? Which way did you turn? Good job, sweetie. Good job. So it's Friday, my beautiful friends. Are you going to watch yourself? Are you going to watch yourself? Oh, but I'm really not that interesting. But yes, you are. You are very interesting. You are so interesting that the world watches. Oh, don't let that scare you. Why does it watch you? to learn. Sound familiar? Sounds like AI. But do you not know we've been doing AI this whole time? It's just that the robot is now the what? Manifestation. The robot is only the manifestation. Grok and Siri and the other one. Sorry if your Siri answered. Sorry. Uh, those are just external expressions. So people always ask, well, if you keep using it, won't you stop using your ability to think? Now, I don't use it deliberately, right? Or should I say, I don't use it like that. I ask the question of, because I know why I'm asking. I'm not asking because it can give me answers. I'm asking because it is faster at crawling the internet to find the information. If I say, I want to go to this college, does this college offer this course? Which out of these three, which out of these four? It'll take me time to look up all four or five of those different websites. Then in mere moments, it can look up all of those sites and answer the question I set for it. I'm not asking it, what's the meaning of life? I cannot ask it that question. Where's it going to draw the information from? Again, from the web. As to what other people have said the meaning of life is. You and I have the ability to reason, to think, to speak. And the more that you practice it, the better you become at it. So the problem is not that you are going to lose it if you don't use it. That's the other side of the coin. That's the other side. But let's not be catastrophic in our thinking. Right? Recognize that if you practice something, that is what you will excel at. You know this better than anybody. You sure do know it. So once you know that what you practice, you get good at, where's your savior? Where's your solution? In the practice. The deliberate practice. Not the willy-nilly, but the deliberate. If you practice willy-nilly, you're still going to get good at it, but which one are you going to get good at? You don't know because you've been practicing willy-nilly. Practice deliberately. Deliberately. So, the art of observation. So, are art and science different? No. See, we keep looking to separate things, keep things whole, keep things as they are, one. Art and science are the same. How so? Well, if you begin, as I said, to practice observation, you will begin to see the subtleties that other people miss. So much so that it now becomes a what to you, a science to you. So that now you can read faces. And all you're doing is observing. You're teaching yourself just how to watch. That's the art. Just watching is the art. But the comprehension of what you watch is the science. Why? Because you can observe it. Science is observation on the external. Ah, you know what? Why you think we dissect? But you don't have to dissect something to comprehend how it works. You don't have to cut it up into a million pieces to see how it works. Not physically. You can observe it in its wholeness. Thereby you will see the working parts. Because you're keeping it as a whole, not as something, you're not breaking it into fragments. Observe how the whole thing works. Mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. Correspondence. As within, so without, as above, so below. Everything vibrates. Everything moves. Nothing stands still. And it is moving through stages from the state of origin to the state of its completion. So from seed to fruit and then back again. Is that not what happens? Ask Monsanto and they'll tell you. Seriously. Seriously. Ask them and they'll tell you. They are masters at the preventing of seeds from going that way again. The seed is always continuous. Seed, sprout, sapling, tree, blossom, fruit, seed. Over and over and over, but they have learned how to interrupt it so that it ends. Okay, then. So polarity, that's what that is. The movement from seed to fruit is polarity. It's moving through the stages. And as it moves through the stages, it moves in a very rhythmic fashion, an ebb and a flow, so that you know what that pattern is when you look at it. You know when it will ebb and you know when it will flow. Rhythm makes things predictable, but rhythm also compensates. Why does it compensate? As within, so without. It compensates because the principle of correspondence exists. So that which is contained within, to whatever degree it is contained within, is the degree that you will see it on the outside. So rhythm always compensates. And from that rhythm, you will be caused to act. So every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. That thing that you do as a cause has an effect. So if you do this, this will happen. But the effect has its cause. That's how it got here. So you can't say, oh, I don't know the cause. If there is an effect, there is a cause. Because inside, outside, you must always see the evidence of. So there won't be an effect with no cause, because then there's a void, and you can't have a void. Not because I say so, but because the principle of correspondence says what is within is on the outside. If you planted the seed and it died, right? There's a void. So what do? Plant another seed. Because you know that when you plant that seed, something has to emerge. So you see, every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. And then we have the principle of gender, the principle of generation. Generation. Generating. Generating. Not man, woman, boy, girl, but generating. You generate an idea. You say, I wonder if I did this. That is a seed. And then you mentally impregnate yourself. You plant it in your mind's eye, and all of these ideas emerge from it. The ideas are still at present invisible. But if you entertain those quote unquote invisible ideas long enough, they will take root. Where? In your mind's eye. And they'll begin to form a picture. And the picture that you form in your mind is the picture you will make on the outside. Ask any chef, ask any seamstress, ask any tailor, ask any sculptor, painter. Yes? So you see, there is not a what's the word I want to use here? Don't deceive yourselves into thinking, oh my God, it's so simple. It's so easy. It becomes that way when you practice. And those are indisputable things. I don't have to argue with you about high tide and low tide. I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to prove to you that it's high tide and low tide. I don't have to prove to you that if I plant corn, I reap. I don't have to prove it to you. You have to observe it. So is there a need for an argument? No. There is not, my beautiful friends. So I never have to, you don't have to argue with people. So pay attention to you. Pay attention to your thoughts, your moods, and you'll begin to see how to apply it. It always originates with a seed, which is that mood. And once you plant it, you don't like this seed? Plant another one. Is that not what you would do in the garden? But of course. Anywho, don't let me keep you, because it's Friday. And I'm going to have a good time today. Hello. Yes, I am. I had a good time all week. What? What? Anyway, who's here with us today? Well, nobody's made themselves known in these YouTube streets. So, these YouTube and Facebook streets. So, I don't know who's here, but I know somebody's here. I said, hello. Is it me you're looking for? Sorry. I see you, though. Well, I know Miss Tiffany was here, and hopefully Javion as well, because I think school started again. Who's with us on Fanbase this morning? I know that Miss McQueen was here. I can't see Miss McQueen now. I see Michael. I know Big Mike was here too. Ray Ray is in the house. My sweet KZ. Moon and Dolphin Duck. And Afternoon Delight is kicking it with us. Um, I see you. So, anywho, my beautiful friends, let us go forth today and watch yourself. Show me what you're working with. Anyway, you know I love it. So, you guys are awesome. You really are. But don't take my word for it. Watch yourself and see for yourself. Oh, oh, oh. Are you awesome too? Yes, you are, itty bitty. You are awesome, sir. Okay, let me go and feed the chickens and clean up after the chickens. And I got another egg yesterday. I came home and I didn't see one because I was looking for an egg, and I was like, oh, the little Pookie did not lay an egg. And I was sad. And then I walked out of the room and I came back because I was grabbing some snacks for them. And I came back and there it was. I said, girl, how did you do that so quickly? Because normally hens, when they're laying eggs, they make noise. They call it the egg laying song. Kind of like how I make noise every morning, but I digress. Um, and I said to her, oh my goodness, you did lay me an egg. And I pet her and I say, thank you. And it was warm. It was warm. So, anyhow, I said, oh, I was too early. I was too early. But anyway, she is absolutely the sweetest little hen there is, with her little light brown eggs, little itty bitty eggs. Well, you know, 'cause she little, right? Observe the beauty that you are. Indeed. If we keep saying that humanity is evil, well, you'll behold it. But if you want to see the beauty of mankind, look for it, and you shall find it. I wonder where that beauty will be first. In your bosom? Yes, in your bosom. Okay, remember what bosom means? Your chest. Okay. You know when you hug somebody? Yeah, that's the bosom. Chest. Okay. Let's not make it weird. Anywho, countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will see you on Monday, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, fan base, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know I look forward to hearing from you. Mm? Oh, yes, I do. Peace out, everybody. Peace out.